Hello everybody, good evening, namaste. So we are here and I'm very happy today because we are finishing week 2 of these 10 weeks of Yuktahar project. So we are finally at the end of week 2 and we are also finally at the end of phase 1. So for people who want to know what is phase 1, please pick up this book because this project is essentially for people who have read the book. So pick up this book and you will know what is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and why are we doing these phases. So that is one thing, because today we are finishing phase 1, which means we are at the end of week 2 and from tomorrow we are starting phase 2, right? So we are going on to phase 2 tomorrow. So lots of different varieties of food is something that you're going to have from tomorrow. A lot of things will be reintroduced. So, much more flexibility in choices from tomorrow onwards. But because we are finishing phase 1 today, I wanted to basically summarize कि अभी तक हमने क्या किया है in these 2 weeks, what all we have discussed. So firstly we have discussed the 3 R's of TBBD कि right quality क्या है and right quantity क्या है and what is right timing of eating food. That is something we discussed, and then we discussed what is the the 3 F's of phase 1 कि phase 1 में 3 F's क्या होते हैं और forget list में क्या क्या foods हैं, अगर हमने उसे कभी खा लिया, so what do we need to restart, those kind of questions we answered. Then few list में क्या है, and then we also discussed the favor list कि F for favor में क्या क्या foods हैं. In fact we are left with only a very small part of the favor list which I'm going to discuss today, which is sherbets and chutneys. So today's topic is about sharbat and chutney because we are going to favor that in phase 1. A lot of people were asking me कि hot water पीना है तो सारा दिन पीना है तो गर्मी है, we live in a summer tropical country, what to do. So please refer to the book because there's enough option for sherbets as well. We are not asking you not to have sherbets. We are not telling you कि don't drink pani from the matka. We are not telling you that sherbets garam pani mein banao. Nobody makes a sharbat in hot water. But please try to understand that there is enough flexibility, and if you really read the book well, actually all the answers are there in the book. Having said that, of course, there are times when we are not able to focus and not able to read the entire book, and that is the reason why we are having these live sessions. So again, we are going back to a summary. So we discussed millets and we discussed soups and we discussed the herbs and spices and how they are going to favor you. We discussed khichdi many times, why khichdi is really great, especially in phase 1. So we have discussed all of these things, and today we are going to discuss sherbets and chutneys. But before that, I want to, again tell all the viewers who have participated in this project. Firstly, thank you for keeping faith. Thank you for doing the project so sincerely. और जिन भी लोगों ने week 1 progress form भरा है, I'm sure 90% of them have been gotten in touch with my team. My team must have gotten in touch with 90% of them till now and clarified any of your queries, remarks, questions, concerns. Basically trying to have a two-way conversation so that it doesn't look like that I'm just coming and giving out guidelines, but there is we are all ears and we hear you when you say. So for that we have already done that and we have got great responses, and there's another 10% of people left जिन्होंने week 1 progress form भरा है, and they will be reached out by the end of day today. So अगर आपको अभी तक आपके इंस्टाग्राम पे डीएम नहीं मिला है तो it will be done by today evening last. You will receive a message. Now because we are again finishing the week 2, there is a week 2 progress form, and the most important thing is that please fill up the week 2 progress form. Very important, so that we can continue this conversation, we can continue and we can keep continuing and knowing how you're progressing. There are people who have told us that they've lost 3 kgs in just these 2 weeks of phase 1. There are people who have told us that they have been having such a stubborn weight for so many years, but just in 5 days there was a drop of a few kilos or few grams and stuff like that. Of course, we are not, advocating that you go on measuring your weight, but of course, it feels great when people fill up the form and tell us that they're feeling lighter and they're feeling more energetic, their bloating has gone away, the cravings are not there, they're sleeping better. For women, the menstrual experiences are better. So things like that. And of course, it gives us a direction, a path as to where we need to, navigate this project. So please fill up the week 2 project progress form as well. And also, as I had mentioned this last time also, I'm repeating myself, ki phase 1 has gotten over. So this Saturday, what we are going to do is, we are going to invite the participants of this project. तो जो लोगों ने प्रोग्रेस फॉर्म्स भरा है वीक 1 का भी और वीक 2 का भी, बिकॉज वीक 2 का लिंक इज गोइंग टू गो लाइव टुडे. So you have today and tomorrow to fill up the form. So today is Thursday in India. So Thursday and Friday we are keeping this live for the next 48 hours. And Saturday we are going to select people from the participants from this project, basically essentially people who have filled up the forms, and we are going to invite you so that you can come over and join the live with me on Saturday. So Saturday is going to be a special live. It's not going to be me lecturing about some topic, but it will be about you guys, you coming forward, sharing your experiences, real people, real talks as to what all did you do in this project till now, how was the 2 weeks, how was phase 1. So if you want to be a part of this, if you want to come join me live, you can share the request, and I'm going to take you in during Saturday live 6 p.m. IST, same time, same place like every day. So if you want to be a part of that, please ensure that you fill up the form, because that is how we will be able to get you on. The reason why we only want to get only these participants in the live is because we want to have people who have really done the 3-phased program, finish the phase 1, so that they can share their experiences and whatever challenges or whatever experiences, positive, not positive, whatever it is, they can share it with us, a very heart to heart talk, dil se dil tak. So I'm looking forward to that, and for that we request you that you please stay consistent with filling up these progress forms. So that is it for today's announcement. Now coming back to the topic, sherbets and chutneys. Now, why this sherbat and chutney is important? It is important firstly because sherbets and chutneys are seasonal. हम जैसे बेल का शरबत इंडिया में मार्च के महीने में पीते हैं. It is during Holi when you start seeing these bale. Bale is called like the wooden apple in English. So you start seeing this bale in the markets, local carts carrying it. You will not find a bale in October, November. Similarly, there is falsa sharbat, there is pudina sharbat, mint sharbat, dhania sharbat. So there are so many kinds of sharbats that India has, and the whole idea is to make use of the seasonal stuff, whether it's seasonal fruit, whether it's seasonal vegetable, whether it's any kind of seasonal leaves. So making use of that is very important, and that is why we have sharbats which are seasonal. Again, you don't go on drinking sharbats all through the day. One sharbat, 1 glass a day, and it keeps you really, really hydrated. It fills you up with all the antioxidants and stuff, and it just keeps you going. With chutney, again, it's not that you sit with a katori of chutney. You just have a very little chutney on the thali. But what it does is कि जब आपका rice है या रोटी है थाली में, when you're having a meal, और उस rice और रोटी के साथ में, which is essentially what we know as carbs, और उसके साथ में आपके पास dal hai, which probably people recognize as protein, but the moment you add chutney, you have added some sort of either antioxidants or fiber or polyphenols. If you are having like a shengdana chutney, which is nothing but groundnut chutney, agar aap wo lete hain, then it's giving you some other important proteins and fatty acids and stuff. So the moment you put a chutney on your thali, even though it's in a very small amount, what happens is that it fills you up with extra nutrients, micronutrients, which you will not probably get with your grains and pulses. You don't have it in a full katori form, but that small amount is good enough to give you, to satisfy the requirements. The other thing is that it's, it really livesen up a meal. So अगर आपके पास सिर्फ एक खिचड़ी है, मान लीजिए, if that is what you are having, the moment you add a chutney to your khichdi, it just, spices up the whole thing. It makes it more interesting. And chutney is something that you can even, make. Of course, it's always good to, make fresh things. But because we received a lot of these messages from international residents, people living outside India, on whether they can make things and store it and stuff. So if you are one of those who find it difficult to make things every day, then know that chutney is something that you can make and at least store for the next 2 to 3 days, and it can really help you to just have a very simple preparation of a meal, yet very delicious. So, that is why the sherbets and chutneys hold so much importance, especially in an Indian thali. The second thing is why in phase 1, right? So why are we doing this in phase 1? So firstly, it is not that ki sherbets or chutneys hum phase 2 mein ban kar denge. Try to understand that sherbet and chutney is a regular part of Indian meal, and it will continue to be so. But the only thing is that kyunki phase 1 mein what we are trying to do is we are trying to favor more herbs, spices, leaves, basically anti-inflammatory foods. That is why the kind of sherbets changes from phase 1 to phase 2. Phase 2 is more about focusing on lentils and seeds. So while in phase 2 you will have something which is like a sattu sharbat. A sattu sharbat works well for phase 2 because sattu is made out of chana, and chana is not something we are having in phase 1, but I would want you to favor chana, lentils and seeds in phase 2. So a sattu sharbat works great for phase 2, but in phase 1 we stick to dhania sharbat, pudina sharbat, because these are all anti-inflammatory cleansing herbs which will help you benefit in phase 1. So in fact, if you read this book, this is the page number 140. So in page 140, if you see, I have put tables of sherbets which you can have in phase 1. So many options are there for summers, for winters and for monsoons. So too many options are there for people who are even staying outside India, or if you are in India, again according to seasons where you are there. So of course, if you are in a summer season, or if you're in a country which is very tropical, then you go ahead with the summer sherbets because these are very refreshing. There's sikanji here, masala sikanji, there is jaljeera. Again, these things are something that will boost your metabolism because of so many spices and stuff. So it's good if you can rotate between these sherbets, or if it is not possible, then you can even have the same kind. So this is about sherbets, and sharbat again is what is a good time to have sharbat. A lot of people ask me that. Sharbat is technically something that you can have anywhere between 10 to 4 p.m. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is a good time to have a sharbat. Subah 10 baje se leke 4 baje ke beech mein, any time you can have a glass of sharbat. Again, when we come to chutneys, as I said, again you have chutney in phase 2, but in phase 2 you will favor chutneys like a flaxseed chutney, because we want to favor more of seeds and lentils in phase 2. Remember that. So you will you will have a flaxseed chutney, or you will have like those gond ka chutneys. So those kind of things you will favor in phase 2. In phase 1, again the nature of the chutneys which I want you to have is more towards the cleansing, anti-inflammatory kinds, which again a lot of these options are here on the same page. And it is, in fact, a few recipes are also shared in chapter 10. So you go ahead and make use of these recipes. So there is, there's an amla chutney, the recipe which I have shared. And there's also a neem flower chutney, which is, I feel, is very, very exotic. It's not the neem patta, but it's the neem flower. And it's really very exotic. And these neem flowers are available, the dried flowers are available online very easily, even for people staying outside India. And neem has this great property of body cleansing, so it works very well for phase 1. So please go ahead, read the book and see the chutneys and the sherbets from this book and incorporate them in your phase 1 plan. The phase 1 plan is pretty flexible in that way. It is not about just drinking warm water. It's also about incorporating other kinds of liquids and beverages which are cooler, which you can use water to make it, like just out from a matka or room temperature, any which way that you prefer. So please go ahead and make use of these soups and chutneys. And tomorrow, as I said, we are going to enter into phase 2. So fill up the form for phase 1, which we are going to upload very soon. And Saturday, we are going to have, as I said, a very, very different live where we are just going to chat and we are going to have a nice time talking about the experiences. And it's not going to be one of these regular lives that we have been doing for the last 2 weeks. I'll just check the questions. Okay. Oh God, I'm finding it a little difficult to scroll, so please excuse me. Okay, how do I know if I should end or extend phase 1? Is there a possibility to extend beyond 2 weeks? Okay, see, the 2 weeks of phase 1, as I said, it's a minimal thing that we want people to do. If you want to extend phase 1, you can extend. There is no such thing that how do I know. If you feel that you are okay with the kind of 3 Fs, if you feel you can put up with it, you can extend it. The maximum you can extend it is 4 weeks. However, don't extend phase 1 beyond 4 weeks is what I'll suggest. The only time we extend phase 1 beyond 4 weeks is when we are really, doing a very one-on-one consultation where I can, really handhold and stuff. But 2 weeks I think is really nice. But if you really want to extend, you can go ahead and do like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Depending on your convenience. If you feel you can stay put, if you feel that you like it and you love the results that it's showing, then you can go ahead, not a problem. Okay. Can we prepare khichdi even with millets? Yes, you can prepare khichdi even with millets. Means yes, of course, millet khichdi is a very, very traditional recipe that you just take millet. So khichdi is what? Khichdi is basically 1 grain and 1 lentil coming together. So if you want to have say a jawar khichdi, it will be jawar and moong dal coming together. If you want to have bajra khichdi, it will be bajra and moong dal coming together. So any millet and a lentil coming together is a khichdi. So of course you can make a millet khichdi. So somebody is asking, ma'am, how can I take an appointment for one-on-one? So please write to us on our email ID and my team is going to help you with all the details. The email ID is on my Instagram page. Go on my Instagram page and there's a button called contact. You will have our office number there. You will have our office email ID there. So you can just, write to us or call us and we will just take you through. Or otherwise, alternatively, what you can also do is go on our website, which is munmunganeriwal.com. And if you go on our website, then you can see the consultation options that are there. Okay. This is quite tricky to open it. Okay. Direct phase 2 कर सकते हैं क्या? I mean, I will not suggest that you go directly phase 2. If you don't want to do phase 1 and you don't want to do, you can directly go to phase 3. Because phase 3 is a lifelong plan. In phase 3, you don't eliminate gluten. You basically are eating everything, but of course you're following the 3 hours of TBVD. You're following the 7 meal planning guidelines. So if you go on to the book, on chapter 10, there is a frequently asked questions, and if you really read that well, you will have the answer to this question. So people who don't want to do the phases, they have an option of going to phase 3 directly. Of course, phase 3 going directly doesn't mean कि जैसे भी खाएंगे हमें जैसे रहना हम रहेंगे. There are certain ways, but at least you don't go through these phases. So I will not say that you directly go to phase 2. What you can do is directly go to phase 3. That of course you can do. Or if suppose you have missed the lives and that's the reason why you're asking me this question, then don't worry, just read the book. All our live sessions are recorded on my Instagram page. So you can just go check those live sessions and you can just start the phase 1 on your own. And if you have any queries, you can always email us. So we'll respond to it. So if that is the reason why you are wanting to do phase 2 directly, then don't do that. Go through a phase 1, check the videos, read the book, and you will be able to do this very, very well. Okay, so do we need to read the book for following it? Yes, of course. You will be able to understand this better. There are so many things in the book. See, I have taken 2 years to write the book, and the book actually has things that I have learned over my almost 20 years of experience. So going on a live and coming every day for 10 minutes is not going to substitute for everything that I have written in the book. So the book is the primary thing. You have to read the book, you have to understand the principles, and the live sessions are only then going to supplement and enhance your learning, help you with few questions that might still be there. So that is how you need to navigate through this project. Shilpa is again asking what's all this phase about. So again, if you read the book, you will know what the phases is all about. Mac2609 is asking, I finished phase 1 today, can I start phase 2 from tomorrow? Yes, please. So please start phase 2 from tomorrow. In fact, we are starting phase 2 from tomorrow on our live session, so please be with us. Okay, and yeah, so there is one question by 2, and I don't feel tired. I do have and I hope to put on weight during later phase by eating more has been necessary. Okay, so there's Hippondly, and I've just been not reading the question very well, but let me just read out now. So he says that after following 2 weeks of Yuktahar project, my weight has gone down by 2 pounds. Wow, that's nice, and I don't feel tired the entire day. Super. I do hypertrophy training, hope to put on weight during later phase of the project by eating proper food, as weight gain is necessary for muscle mass. Okay, firstly, let me tell you, Hippondly, I'll just call you by your Instagram handle, is this that a weight gain can be a fat gain also. So when you say that weight gain is important, you do not know if you're gaining fat or you're gaining muscle mass. So your question should be actually that I want to increase my muscle mass. Now, when you say that you have already lost weight in these 2 weeks of Yuktahar project, again, you do not have, you probably yourself do not know, but you have not mentioned whether this was, I'm sure this was not a muscle loss. When you say there's a 2 kg weight loss, because in Yuktahar you eat very wholesomely, right? You're not doing these crash diets. So what is essentially happened is a fat loss, not a muscle mass loss. So a good tight toned body, even like what would you would require, like an athletic body, if that is what you're looking at, then even that, know that it's always the fat percentage which is cut down and the muscle mass which is increased. So you have already lost some fat when you say that you have lost weight in 2 weeks of Yuktahar. So I feel that's a great thing. And in the later part, when you say that you're hoping to put on weight, then what you're actually should be hoping to is put on muscle mass, because the fat is just going to cut down if you eat well. Because in this program, we are removing all the inflammation causing bacteria, which is just going to help you reset your metabolism, physiology, and that's the reason you're losing fat. Now, your question is then that how can I increase muscle mass? So let me tell you, this program is essentially for losing fat, losing weight, the fat mass actually. And if you really want a very tight and toned and athletic body, there's a little slightly different approach. In fact, if you read the chapter 9, which is Tapsi's chapter, you will see that she also has gone through these phases initially. She was in phase 1, then she was in phase 2, and then she did phase 3. And while then we started preparing her for Rashmi Rocket, she had already reset her metabolism, reset her gut, and then we had started her Rashmi Rocket preparation when all these phases were gone. So there's a different approach for things. You cannot believe that athletic body बनाने के लिए जो हमें करना है वही same हमें fat loss के लिए भी करना है. It doesn't work like that. People have different objectives and the different ways you get the you can get that result. So for now, I think you should just focus on fat loss. What you should also focus is that you have the post workout protein shake, which is the recipes in the book. Ensure that you are taking the protein shake post workout, because that will ensure that you don't go through muscle loss, or there is no muscle mass loss over there. But I think the first step is to lose fat even when you want a tight toned body, and I think you're on the right path for that. Okay, I think I'm done with all the questions today for a change. And okay, so do we need to continue with the drinks of phase 1 is what Prachi is asking. So Prachi, please elaborate on what drinks you're talking about. If you're talking about sherbets, then there are different sherbets for phase 2. So what drinks are you talking about? So please elaborate on that. In fact, the answer is in the book, but if you still want us to help you out, then please write to us and elaborate on what drinks you specifically want to talk about. So I'll end this for today, and please fill up the form as I said, and I look forward to your filled up forms, and I look forward to the Saturday chat that we are going to have. And I'm going to, as I said, invite few of you to share your experiences with us. Okay, thank you.